welcome back. We got another week. How you doing? It's Will West the Best, your annual host of this show called Men vs. Truth vs. Women. I appreciate everybody tuning in. Please tap in with my YouTube, my Instagram, Facebook. Tap in, just join the conversation, and actually let me know what you're thinking in regards to that. You can also check me out on TikTok as well with Will West the Best 44. You'll see some kids on there, but just ignore it. It's mostly the podcast. Don't even worry about that. But I'm going to tell you about my show like I do every week. I have a beautiful young lady. I have a handsome young man. We get them into a debate, get them into a conversation, and I play the truth. I play the middleman in the middle and handling all these situations, making sure ain't no hands thrown, no scuffles happen, anything to that nature. So with this episode, we are going to be talking about expressing emotions and feelings. I'm going to start out by saying I got two good friends up here. I've been knowing Adam almost 15 years. It's been longer than that. Since high school. Yeah, it's been since high school. And this young lady, same way, since high school. So I'll start with this young lady. I'll let her introduce her. She is the extraordinaire. Go ahead and just tell them what your name is and tell them your tags.
What's going on, you guys? I am Ask Ashley. I'm a media personality here in Cincinnati. I'm an author, a host, an influencer, a mom, a bae. You know what I'm saying? Just a plethora of things.
She got a list.
A plethora of things. Excited to be here for sure.
I appreciate you. And then this gentleman here, another gentleman with a plateau of things.
I'll just keep it simple. I'm Mr. Give Me Face, photographer extraordinaire, Mr. Creative, Mr. You Gotta Shoot With Me, Mr. Be a Part of the Gang. You can find me at Instagram at @GiveMeFace_.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
I like that plug. Yeah. Find me at Ask Ashley. Ashley with 2 E's, no Y. I forgot that.
Yeah, you did. I was going to say, you ain't put the whole thing in there with the ass.
Baby, I was going to wait to the end. Oh. You know what I mean?
I mean, people might look now.
Right. You're right. So, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying?
Me up.
So, but we're going to get to it. We're going to talk about these emotions and feelings, from which I was telling me prior to this show. Y'all kind of had a debate and it wasn't going too well. So I'm going to be the mediator of this situation now. I done jumped in. All right, so I'm going to start with the first question. Is there any expectations when expressing love in a relationship or while in the dating phase? I'm going to let the young lady go first.
Are there any expectations when expressing love in the dating phase?
Mm-hmm. Love in a relationship or while in the dating phase. You're in a relationship, so you can speak of that.
Okay, from a relationship standpoint. I would say yes. I mean, you shouldn't really have an expectation of, well, I ain't going to say that because you should have an expectation. So I'm going to say yes. I expect my partner to show me love. If they love me, I want to see it. I want to feel it. I want to be able to express it, and I want to be able to create a safe space for him to be able to express it as well.
Okay. How about you, Mr. Single? Or while in the dating phase. I say in the dating phase. Do you have an expectation of them expressing love or just, I ain't even gonna say.
Why you doing a roll already? She wants something.
We go
just
block it out.
With this last relationship that once it gets deeper into the dating stage, not initially, not up front, but once we get past all the little knick-knack, paddywhack, and we like deeper in there, then I've learned that I need to make sure that person speaks my love language before taking it to the next step of actually being in a relationship. So once it gets deeper, that little threshold of like, all right, we've been doing this dating stage long enough now. Do I see us going to the next level or not? Mm-hmm. Once you get to that phase, like, okay, let me see how do they express love? Mm-hmm. How do they express their love language? Am I speaking their love language? Are they speaking my love language?
So do you feel like there's a timeline with that? Are you saying there's a time limit or a certain point in time that you need to do it?
I would say it's just like a feeling. Like, you know, when you start dating somebody, y'all do the little stuff up front, what you like to do in your spare time when you're not taking pictures. I hate that question so bad. I hate that dating stage. But once you get past all of that, and y'all been chilling, and when you get to a point where you're like, do I see myself being with this person? Mm-hmm. at that point, like, okay, let me make sure that they're speaking my love language. Let me make sure I'm speaking their love language. How are we expressing love? And not necessarily like love because I love that person, but love can be, emotions and stuff like that. How do they handle their emotions and stuff?
For sure.
I would definitely say, and I think what you're trying to get at is the exclusive stage. Like once you get into that, you know what I mean? Like it's that stage right before it's like, all right, you my man, you my woman. Yeah, right. But for me, I am paying attention to that off rip. Mm-hmm. I'm paying attention to the way you treat your friends, you treat your family, you treat your loved ones, you treat your homies. Like, because if you are going to badmouth them, treat them like trash, talk crap about them or whatever the case may be, then eventually when you mad at me, you're going to do the same thing.
Yep. Yeah. So I agree with both of you actually in regards to this due to the fact that when you're in the dating phase, you're expected to know. You're expected to know how to express yourself and be with that person, how to open up, how to do these things with that person. But in the dating phase, like Adam said, it's always going to be that time where you got to figure out. You said a key thing is the love language. Because you can run into a person that's all about affirmation and word, but they in the back of their mind, they be all about gifts. So
come on.
It's a major thing when it comes to that in the dating phase more than being in a relationship, due to the fact the dating phase is always going to be the fill out moment. Like it's always going to be, I'm trying to figure this out. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I see your good, I see your bad, I see your ugly, but I see your greatness as well. But sometimes people don't express that, nor do they know it in the dating phase.
That's why I said I start from the beginning, because a lot of people show you that imposter. So I can't see your bad, your ugly, your good, or how you handle disagreements or how you handle arguments, because you still pretending with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and until people really start like letting their guard down and showing their true colors, then it's kind of like, oh, you like to grab a motherfucker up a little bit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like things like that. So I'm really paying attention to that off rip, because I'm actually picking up something from Adam's book. I'm actually like testing you before you even realize you're being tested.
Oh, but she told me not to do that.
I told him not to do that in terms of how. Hold on.
Oh,
I told him how not to do that in terms of how he does it.
Oh.
Okay, because the way he does it. Hold on.
I don't want you to say no more. I don't want you to say. So you do it a certain way?
I put people through unexpressed tests.
Explain this, please. Explain this. Hold on. You got to explain this. You got to get in depth about this now. Now you done brought it up.
Unexpressed test is like, okay, sheesh. I'm trying to think.
Give me an example. I need an example. Yeah, give me a good example.
You got an example that you can recall?
You ain't just asked me for your own example. I know.
Because it's not clicking to me right now.
So all right, let me think of one. Hold on. I might have one. So an unexpressed example.
Here we go. Okay, so one of my love language is thoughtful gifts. That's one of my love languages. Not materialistically in the sense of that, but the fact that you were out and about and you
thought about
seeing that my sweatpants had a hole in them and you got me some sweatpants, like, that makes me feel a certain type of, give me little chills.
I get that.
You know what I mean? Just thinking about somebody doing that for me.
But Adam, the reason why I said I don't do it the way he does it is because Adam will not effectively communicate that. Adam will just be like, nah, they supposed to just know. Nobody just knows. You have to learn how to communicate.
I'll defend you on this one.
Oh, go ahead, please.
So us as men, I'm going to say us as men. Lee, you hear me? I said us as men.
Don't bring me into this.
If women tend to buy gifts, like he said, or they're doing this as a generous thought, and you see something like, oh, I like how I think he'll like this, but you know we're not gonna like this, kind of is like messing with that. It's kind of bothering.
Yeah, like get me something. I'm like
you wouldn't want your man to buy you something. You wouldn't want your man to buy. All right, for example, you don't wear a certain. He
brand
knows,
a
certain brand or something. He knows that, but he be like, "Oh, I thought I was just out, and I just bought you this," and that ain't what it is.
But keep in mind what you just said. You said he knows that. He knows that probably because I've communicated.
Okay.
Adam's take is I'm not communicating nothing because my person just gonna know.
There we go. So
that's why I said I don't do it the way he does it.
And in the past, I have done that where I didn't communicate what my love languages were, but I just keep saying how these sweatpants got a hole in them, and my pocket needs stitched up, or whatever the case may be. And like, dang, you couldn't.
He dropping the breadcrumbs instead of just
dropping
being
the breadcrumbs.
forward.
Giving the
So,
hints.
and that's my thing. And so that's what it kind of boils down to is like, I don't know. I have a huge problem of expecting me out of others.
Yes.
I have a huge
We
problem
ain't
with
gonna
that.
go no
was
further.
good.
That we ain't
No,
gonna,
that was
we
real
gonna
good.
stop you right there.
That was real
I'm
good.
gonna come back to that. I'm gonna come back to that.
Yeah.
So the next question I have, you brought it up. You already said it about the love language. Do you let love language affect your expression of love?
Say that again.
Do you let love language affect your expression of love?
Do I let it affect it? I mean, affect it in a good way, meaning like how I'm gonna speak whoever I'm with. I'm gonna speak their love. I'm gonna express love in their language, so that way they know and can feel that I love them in a sense. So I let it affect me in a good way, meaning like I'm gonna speak their love language no matter.
So
what it is.
you don't see it in a negative way at all.
No, I mean, and I just made a post about that. I'm like, you can't not love someone in their love language just because you're not used to it, you don't want to do it, you're not accustomed to doing it. Like, you can't be like, oh, I'm not gonna love you in your love language, no matter what it is.
like that.
Like, because that's how that person sees love. However, that came about to them, you got to speak it you got to speak to them in their language. It's like trying to communicate with somebody in
Of a
Spanish.
different
That speaks Spanish. You don't speak Spanish. Y'all gonna always miscommunicate.
Yeah, for sure.
I definitely think that ties back to what you said. Like, I think you're really good at listening. You know what I'm saying? And so you start to speak the love language. And I think because that's what you do, you expect it from other people. Yeah, so I definitely would say I would agree with you on that.
I worked on that. I'm working on that.
You're a work in progress. I'm proud of you, best friend. Ask the question again.
I knew he was gonna say that. That's why I looked back at it like, when it comes to, I'm sorry, that was the wrong question. Do you let love language affect your expression of love?
No, I do not. I do not allow anybody else's lack thereof understanding or ability to do something affect how I move as a person. I am going to love the way that I love, or I'm going to speak your love language so that you can articulate it. But if eventually I don't feel that my love language is being spoken, I'm going to just remove myself from the situation. I'm not going to allow it to have me be crappy towards you or treat you some kind of way. Like, for example, if me and my man get into an argument, and we actually just had this conversation, we get into an argument, you know what I mean? We ain't talking to each other for a little bit. We giving each other the cool down process. And I go out and I go get something to eat, and I come back, and then he like, I'm like, where you going? I'm about to go get me something to eat. I just went to go get something to eat. Yeah, but we just got into it. So you think I'm not going to feed you now? You're not going to get fed because we got into an argument?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm just kidding, y'all.
You know what I'm saying? But so that's what I mean.
Because I do it too. I'll be
not
mad as hell.
Yeah.
But I'm going to still
wanna get
I'm about to go get something to eat. Damn,
what you want? Yeah. Well,
So
see,
it get like
you
that,
good because you asked what you want.
Yeah.
I ain't asking nothing because I'm mad
See,
still.
you can't do that,
But
though.
no, I'm mad, but I'm definitely.
But that means you're stuck in
Let's
your
go get
ways.
something to eat anyway,
No.
so.
I'm gonna get something to eat anyway, and because I know my man, I already know what you want from where I'm
speak
going.
that. Go like that.
Okay.
You feel me?
Go like that.
Wherever I'm choosing to go that
I'm
day,
just making sure
I know what you want.
going to Chinese restaurant
I know
knowing
he
he
won't.
allergic to Chinese food.
No.
and still getting food.
Again, I don't allow somebody else's.
B, I got you, bro.
You know
I
what I'm
got
saying?
you.
Man, cut it out. I don't allow somebody else's actions to reflect. At least that is something that I'm trying to work on every day.
So I'm going to say this. When it comes to love language, it's low-key a gift. The reason I say love language is a gift is because it's telling you how that person's personality works. So it actually helps you out in the long run. It actually helps you out knowing this person, knowing what they like, and knowing what they give. So it helps you as well because you expressing yourself as well. You telling them, you basically like, hey, this is what I am, and this is how I work. So I personally feel love language is a gift. It's a gift because you actually learning the person that you're involved with.
Right.
So you're learning that fact that there are certain little like you said, small things, small details. Small things actually will go a long way, and you don't even know.
And I really think that the love language and learning it, like learning any language, is going to be a benefit to you.
Yeah, for sure.
Because if you're having a bad day or a hard day and I feel like I don't know what to do, I got the textbook. You like gifts? You having a hard day? Cool. What conversation? Oh, sweatpants. Let me go see if I can go find him some sweatpants real quick. Because I don't know what else to do. He don't want to talk. He don't want to communicate. Let me go and just lay him some sweatpants on the bed, and I'm going to go in the other room and wait for him to come to me.
And now that I just thought about it, I understand what Adam was saying now. I just thought about something.
No, you can't renege.
No. I didn't renege. I'm in the middle. I just thought about something. So the thing is, Adam said, hey, she know I got a hole in my stuff, and it's just about the detail. Like he was saying, like, it's just like, she know I got a hole in my pants, this, yada, yada, yada. I know he needs sweatpants. What kind of sweatpants do we wear? What kind of things does he like? What kind of sweatpants do you see him in on regular? So the fact that he's got, for example, he got some joggers on, that's an observant moment. Right. So you know what I'm saying? That's what I was meaning by that. Like I'm not saying like everything he said was right. I'm just saying like observing. Being observant goes a long way. I learned that. I think I just learned that in the last 5 years, and I'll be 38 years old this year.
All right, old man.
I know. I just learned that. Like, being observant and just paying attention to detail is something key, and it goes a long way.
Period.
Yeah, it goes a long way. Yeah, so that's like a major thing that stands out when he said what I said. Was like, that's something really important sometimes. So,
but I will say, I'm a big believer of effective communication. You know what I'm saying?
That's women.
Because
that's women,
and it's important.
Us as men, we gotta learn to communicate.
Yes, because we
ain't got no choice.
Let's say Adam and I are dating, and he keep bringing up these sweatpants. You know what I'm saying? One, I don't even know that his love language is gifts because he doesn't tell you that. He wants you to know that. But two, if I know sweatpants is your thing, and I really ain't got it. Well, we probably shouldn't be dating if I ain't got it. If you can't buy your man sweatpants, then don't do it.
And they only like $7.
But
no, they not.
$7.99. I shop at Gabe's.
Oh, that's different.
But again, we talking, and I'm going from terms of not somebody in a relationship. I'm going in terms on Adam's side as somebody who is dating and getting to know that person. How do I already know you shop at Gabe's and you only like $7? Adam comes with the drip. We don't know he spent $7 on them pants. We might have thought he bought the pants.
Threw me off.
We might have thought.
Where you get that peacoat from? I need the peacoat, bro. I need the peacoat.
We might think Adam likes all of the higher fashion things in life. You know what I'm saying? Now I know Adam doesn't.
I'm about to go.
But somebody, you feel me? But somebody who watches him from a distance, who's now dating him and taking time to get there, may not know that, and she might be like, "Baby, I ain't got it to get you the $50 sweatpants." I think that you might want because of. I'm getting to know you, and this is what I see of you.
But good thing I'm good at communicating, so they know all that up front about how frugal I am and how I shop at Gabe's.
Are you false flagging right now? Because the way she acting like you false flagging.
Because she thinks that I didn't communicate that in my last relationship. And
I think he communicated it too late. That's what I think.
I told my ex 6 times that my love language is gifts and thoughtful gifts, and she didn't do it near 6 times. So
yes, he told her that 6 times. However, they dated for almost a year when he would not share. He wouldn't share that. He wanted her to just know.
3. Okay, I didn't tell her up. Okay, actually, what happened was.
Oh, here we go.
During the actual talking stage,
like a Christian.
During this talking stage, before we even got serious or even thought about being serious, she wanted me to tell her what my love language was, and I said, "No, you got to figure it out because if I." Let me tell this one because if I tell you,
see what I'm saying? Exactly.
Let me get it
exactly.
Granted, I see the error of my ways now.
All right.
But it's gonna make sense when I say it.
No, it's not.
I told her, okay, I'm not gonna tell you my love language so you can fake talk my language to make me fall in love with you, and then turn around and this not be who you actually are.
Can I say this, Adam?
Do that make sense a little bit?
It a tad.
So that's like, okay, women, if y'all telling a guy what you like and you like to set it in third, he gonna go out and do it. But he's not gonna do it out of the fact that he just wants to talk your love language.
Adam, you can't think everything's an ulterior motive though, bro.
Correct. Again, I see the error in my ways,
so I'm
but
gonna be quiet.
The ideology was smart. You with me? If I tell you what my love language is, you're gonna go out and false flag. What you just saying? Put the facade up.
Yeah.
So you're gonna go out there and do these things, knowing it's not really you.
And you're feeling it's not genuine,
and it's not right. So now I'm falling for you, and now we do make it. Now we are serious, and now I'm wondering, like, where did all those thoughtful gifts go? Like, what happened? Da da da. So that's why I didn't say it at first. But I don't know, 3-4 months in to actually, before we even got together, like actual couple, I told her what my love language was. Hey, my love language is this. I know your love language is that, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's why I kind of like sweatpants. I'm not materialistic. It's like it's the analogy of just a thoughtful gift. Doesn't have to be expensive. It's just a thoughtful gift.
But I think that ties into effective communication, though. And I'm just not going deep into your whole situation. You got a gift which hold on.
Clear can you be?
You saying you want a thoughtful gift. Your version of a thoughtful gift was completely different from her version of a thoughtful gift.
Let me play the middle real quick.
Her thoughtful gift was, I do so much back-end work for you.
First of all, stop making that sound.
Don't do that. We're not. No. We're not gonna.
that was her gift.
We can't play judge and jury right now.
Okay.
All right. Let me. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say what I'm saying. Ashley is correct. The effective communication was not completely there. The only reason I say it was not completely there is because you told her in the beginning. But the thing is, with men, we hear it one time, we know it. With women, we have to remind. That's something I've learned just in time.
What?
In general. It don't matter what it is. It don't matter. She gonna forget what I just told her about 10 minutes ago.
Right.
And I'm gonna have to remind her.
Right.
You feel me? So this is something that oh my God, I'm growing up. I am really growing up right now. The thing is, me and my girlfriend, she'd be like, oh, I don't remember you telling me that. And I'd be like, I have to remind you.
Right.
Due to the fact that they think about everything else in the world. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to certain things we say, because we don't make it adamant that we need something or want something, they won't take it as serious like we do. So certain things like you said, you told her in the beginning what your love language was. She lost that 10 minutes after you told her. I'm just gonna be honest.
No, he didn't tell her in the beginning. He wanted her to figure it out. But he told her.
I told her 3 months in.
Right.
There we go.
You told her,
3 months
right?
into talking, not
but
even
you told her what you told her. You told her.
I actually reminded her 5 times.
Oh wow!
I told her 5 times.
So I mean, like, well, I ain't got the other side of the story, so I can't keep going with that.
And we're not.
But yeah, we're not gonna keep going. This also brings up another question though.
Go ahead. Let's go back to y'all questions. We done got into my relationship.
Yeah. We did.
I know, that's
we
why
did
I'm gonna
go
be
knee deep
quiet.
in your relationship. I'm sorry. I apologize. But when it comes to expressing emotions. No, this is more of an Adam question. I made this more of an Adam question, too.
Drink some more.
Yeah, so when it comes to expressing emotions and feelings, are there limitations? No, I'm going to wait on that one. When men's feelings and emotions are allowed to be expressed, are there any limitations? Are you allowed to express your emotions and feelings?
I believe it's very healthy for men to express your emotions and feelings. It's vital to a relationship. It lets a woman know that you're, present and you have feelings and you are, you have emotional intelligence. Mm-hmm. And when you're dealing with women, you have to have a higher level of emotional intelligence to kind of navigate,
balance it out,
relationships and stuff like that. So I think it's okay, and I think it's very vital to relationships for a man to be. So, not like no crybaby.
Yeah, of course.
We're not talking, crybaby, but just being aware of those emotions.
So, how do you feel about that? Being a man expressing his emotions and his feelings.
I think everybody should be emotionally aware. I think the more emotionally aware you are of yourself, the better opportunity you have to manage those emotions and have control of them. But also the more emotionally aware you are, the more empathetic you are to everybody else's. So if I'm in control of my feelings and my emotions, and you're expressing to me your feelings and your emotions, then not only am I aware of mine, I'm also aware of yours. Right. So when I'm considering myself, I can then consider you.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely agree with both of y'all. I feel like we should be able to be comfortable as men to express our emotions and feelings due to the fact that it's a lot of things us not being able to express it. I feel like it just weighs on a man.
It does.
Mm-hmm.
It weighs on a man. So I do agree with both of y'all in regards to that. So, Ashley, let me ask you this. When it comes to expressing emotions and feelings, do you feel like there are limitations when doing it? She gave me the flutter eyes real quick with them eyelashes.
No. I do think there are limitations. I think there are limitations that are necessary if you don't have control. Mm-hmm. I know that there are some women who will allow their emotions to get the best of them, that will cause them to jump on cars, that will cause them to put their hands on men, that will cause them to act out completely and tear up clothes and, you know, all these things in the name of being mad.
Ooh, I'm glad I ain't had no property damage.
You know, so I do think in terms of that, there needs to be a limitation, which is a big reason why, again, effective communication. Like for me and my man, when the argument gets so heated that I find myself about to lose control, I ask him to stop talking to me and to leave me alone for a second, because I find myself getting so heated.
You've been a firecracker.
Come on now, mind your business, Nate. No, but I find myself, because I'm emotionally aware of my feelings, and I've been working on myself, therapy, and all of those great things. But when I find myself like getting super heated, or I feel like I'm not being understood, or I feel like I'm not being heard, and I find myself just boiling on the inside, I'm like, we gonna need to pocket this. We gonna need to table this for a second, because I'm upset, and I need a minute to process what we're talking about. I need a minute to take myself out of my emotions and calm down and speak to you with respect, like the man that you are, like the man that I love. And there have been times where, you know, because he is so adamant about solutions, you know, with me and y'all are very solution based. So he's like, no, we need to talk right now and get to the bottom of it so we can go on with the rest of the day. Bruh, leave me alone right now, because I am triggered or I am heightened and I need a minute.
But do you realize a man does not know how to function throughout the day without resolution? Have you realized that?
Okay, I do realize that. I'm not asking for a whole day. I'm asking for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Okay. My minute looks like...
Your minute turned into hour.
No. Because like I said, we literally just had a little tiff. He went downstairs. I stayed upstairs. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just calmed down for a little second. You know what I mean? By the time he came back upstairs, I was still on fire. He want to talk? I ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, because I trust my man, I love my man, and I am with a man that I feel comfortable leading me, when he put his foot down and was like, no, we need to go downstairs and have a conversation, you know, and talk about it and work it out now. You better go downstairs
and have this conversation. That's what it was.
I did.
You better, you line and sinker.
I did. But
shout out to B. Shout out to B. Put your foot down.
But at the same time, what I'm saying is that's where the limitation comes from.
Yeah.
Like sometimes if you find yourself, because you should be emotionally aware, if you find yourself getting heightened and things like that, like just take a second, like put a stopper on it for just a minute and then go back and resolve the issue.
Okay. Adam, how do you feel about the limitations?
I agree with all of that. I mean, everyone has to have those limits and put that meter, like you don't want to hit that red line.
That red line bring triggers and violence and everything. I agree. Ashley, you hit a key point with saying that sometimes you have to take a break, sometimes you have to take a breather. But at the same time, when it comes to taking that breather, you have to respect that man's time length of wanting to find a resolution.
Yeah.
That's a major thing.
And I appreciate it because I've been in relationships before where a man would leave me on mad. And I'm like, no, I want to talk. I'm ready to talk now. He like, I don't want to talk.
You don't want to talk now.
What you mean?
That's why I said exactly what I just said. I just said that for a reason. Yeah. You gotta recognize the time length.
And I know, again, because I know my man, and I'm only speaking of, you know what I mean, because all men are different. I mean, a lot of y'all are the same, but a lot of y'all are different. You know, y'all got a lot of different characteristics. I know my man, he just has this demeanor about him where he doesn't like to stay mad. So if we've gotten to a argument or a disagreement and like, let's say, for example, if we got into a disagreement before work, I
It's
may
the
have
worst time.
I may
my
have, well,
gosh.
we don't, but I may have,
That's
you know,
8 hours.
You know what I'm saying? I may have I may be ready to come home and address it because now we both at home and we done got through the day. By the time he gets home, he ready to hug and cuddle and bang.
Yeah.
All right, man, all that stuff, I ain't worried about that.
I ain't worried about
you know what I'm saying? And for me, I'm like, well, I don't want to sweep anything under the rug. I want to talk. And he like, bruh, no, what we about to watch?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So I done cooled down.
Exactly. So
my
because
homies had me
I know,
laughing at work.
But
It was
here's
good.
the thing. As a woman, you're trying to learn too, because one of the other things that, you know, me and him talk about as well, which I think a lot of people talking about, is there's a time and a place for everything.
For sure.
So if we get into a little altercation and I know you got to go the rest of the day and I got to go the rest of the day, it's not the right time to talk about it. Later on in the day would be the right time. But now you don't want to talk about it because you over it. No, I want to still talk about it.
Because at the end of the day, I'm just be honest. I'm going to be the middle, man. I'm going to be the middle. I'm going to play the truth right now. He done got over it.
Damn.
That's all it is.
It's over with
I'm
now.
over it. All right. I'll take the fault.
Again.
I'll take the fault. I took the loss.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Right.
What we eating.
Yeah.
That's where we go with it. That's all I'm saying. So do y'all feel like society has affected the way people feel now in regards of their feelings? And
Yeah, social media is a mug. I think it has definitely had an impact on many aspects of relationships, from feelings to rules, quote unquote rules, and regulations, and
This how you supposed to love your
all
woman.
that
This
stuff.
how you supposed
let's
to
go
love
to my
a man.
next question. That was going to go to my next one, actually. So does showing emotions in the dating situation give questions?
give questions like what?
Wait, what? Say that again?
Showing emotions while dating, does it give questions? Showing your emotions.
Give what kind of question?
Being emotional. Being...
I don't care that you think I'm emotional. I'm a woman.
Well,
I'm a woman.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
I'm a woman.
It's all in
And see,
context.
here's the thing.
I was about to say,
because like you just brought up social media, right? A lot of things that I hear a lot of people on social media talk about is women too masculine and blah, 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 blah. And it's the truth. Like, a lot of women have taken on this masculine role. There are reasons, but that's a different conversation for a different day.
No, we're going to get to it in a second. I'm about to bring it up.
Anywho.
I'm about to bring it up. My shoulders got heavy. My shoulders got heavy.
I am a woman, and I am intentionally wanting to operate in my feminine, soft mold at all times.
So, question.
I am an emotional woman. I know this about myself. My man knows this about myself. You know what I'm saying? So, yes, I'm going to be emotional. I'm going to need you to adhere to that.
I got a question. You already brought it up.
All right, well, what's up?
All right. So, when did you realize you didn't have to be the masculine woman no more?
When I found me a man that I trusted to lead me.
Okay, so leadership was the key, right?
It was very much so leadership. I am a submissive woman at heart, but because I was not in relationships with a man, not because he wasn't masculine, but it was the trust and leadership.
Okay, we gonna get to the nitty gritty, because I was just looking this up.
Yeah, like, it was the trust and leadership that made me soften up.
When it comes to being with the right man, leadership and trust is the two key things. Am I correct?
I'll give you those. Yeah.
Am I correct?
Yeah, I'll say them top.
Yeah, top. Yeah.
So I'm gonna get a little gritty on this. Why do women still follow men that are not leaders, or they're not trustworthy?
Because they have not discovered who they are. They have not discovered their power.
So they pursue men that aren't. They pursue these men. Is it the glitz and glamour? Is it the glitz and glamour in the front?
I mean,
it
depends, because you got some women who go after guys that have a ton of money. You know what I mean? For the glitz and glamour. Right. You got some women who are with guys that ain't got nothing.
That's
that
true.
Are still saying, "Oh, that's my man. He leading me." You know what I'm saying? I think it depends on the woman, but for me, I would imagine that a woman would choose to be led by a man who's not trustworthy to lead or hold down a household or whatever the case may be, because she does not think enough of herself.
Okay.
And so she's settling.
Adam, you being a man.
I would counter that with I think a lot of women who may follow a man who, not necessarily because of what he has or anything like that, but let's say he doesn't have all the money and all that stuff, but she's still following him even though he doesn't know how to lead. I think they're just more so in their feminine than someone who's not, and they're not as I don't want to use the word emotionally intelligent, but just intelligent in that way of like being able to like pause. You know, I like this man because X, Y, and Z, but he's not a good leader and he's not a good, you know, provider. Da 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 da. Sometimes they don't even think about that at all. Sometimes, you know, a lot of people these days, depending on age, even some older people, but depending on how they was raised up, they don't even go to that route.
Nope.
They don't even think, is this person a good provider? Are they a good leader for the household? They don't think that. They're like, oh, I like him. He make me laugh. He funny. Or the sex
Super
good.
surface level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we vibe. We're vibing. Like,
right.
And then they don't even go that deep. So I think that's what it'd be more so than not knowing themselves or anything like that. They don't even think that deep.
Yeah.
I also think though too, like the word leadership is what you think it is. Because for me, because I was raising my children by myself and there was a long time where there was no man in the house. And so I had to be, you know what I'm saying, everything. I know how to take care of myself and my kids. I know how to pay my bills. I know how to balance the checkbook. I know how to bring the bacon home. I know how to do all of these things. However, I was not great at being a communicator. I was in a relationship with a man who made me feel like communicating was stupid and he didn't want to hear all of that.
Like,
and I
this
was
is dumb.
argumentative. Right, like you just want to argue. I don't want to argue. I'm just trying to express how I feel. But he made me feel like that for so long, again, not knowing my power, not knowing who I am, you know what I'm saying? That I got so accustomed to not speaking up for me that when I got with the man that I'm with now, he was first off very adamant that we were going to build a friendship first when I was ready to do so much more. But,
all right.
you know what I'm saying? But he was very adamant, like, if something was bothering me, he wouldn't let me sit with the nothing's wrong. No, bruh, you my woman. I know you. Let's talk. So he held me accountable to the woman I always said I wanted to be. He prayed with me. He made me communicate. He taught me, you know what I mean, certain things that not necessarily I couldn't teach myself, but things that I wasn't even thinking about because I was so busy, like you said, thinking about all of these other things. So one of the things that I do contribute to my new relationship, well, it ain't new no more, but my relationship is he taught me how to speak up for me. You know what I'm saying? He created a safe space for me to be like, I feel this way and you hear me. So my leadership and you know what I'm saying? The leadership role didn't have much to do with, can he pay all the bills? I can pay my own bills.
Yeah.
But I need an effective communicating partner, somebody that makes me feel seen, somebody that makes me feel heard. He was able to do that. That was something I didn't have before. So I saw that as a leadership role.
So I definitely agree with you in regards to that. And you saying that key word, leadership. Leadership is something a lot of people don't even understand that definition.
That part. And it has many faces.
Yeah. And then people don't even know how to react when they actually have good leadership in front of them. So I think it's a combination of maturity. It's also a combination of a reality check in a person's life. So I think that's something real key that a lot
What's
of
in the drink?
Women.
Goodness.
Oh my gosh, here we go. It ain't even that much.
I'm saying, what's
All
in
right,
it?
well, but we go get to these last. I got two more questions for y'all. So, can you question someone's character by the way they express their emotions and feelings when it comes to being involved?
Definitely. Like if they that crazy when it comes to expressing of emotions, if they can't, they don't know how to keep it under that meter, or that meter, or that red line is down here when it should be up here, and that red line down there. Like, oh baby, you have some
growing to
do. You got some problems.
That goes to toxicity.
When
there you go.
You,
I said the word
when
right.
you let your emotions, like I keep seeing these videos of people using their cars to run into other cars and people. Like, think about the ideology behind it. Like, where does your mind go where you say, hop in your car and I'm about to run
destroy my own property to get to you.
Like, I got to question your life existence at that point. Like, what
makes you go that
crazy.
far?
Like,
what makes you go that far?
What makes you see that much red over the smallest thing, or whatever the case may be? So you definitely can judge somebody's character by how they handle their emotions.
That's why I said I pay attention off rip of how you're handling people.
Mm-hmm.
If me and you are out and we kicking it and we're going into that, we trying to see where this is going and things like that, and I hear you talking about your homeboy all the time, but then when you see him, it's like, hey, what's up, my guy? Like, you know what I'm saying? Nigga, you was just talking about this nigga. Told me his whole business. He trash. He this.
Trash.
You know what I'm saying? Or, for example, like, I treat you like this, or I treat you like that, or, I like my woman being, like, or I like to treat my woman like this, blah, blah, blah. But you on the phone talking to your mama super crazy and have no respect or nothing like that. Bro, if you talk to your mama like that, you definitely, because I'm telling you right now, when I get mad this mouth, you going to talk to me like that. You going to talk to me the way you was just talking to your mama, and I ain't going to like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Peace.
So I'm paying attention to certain things like that. And that's what I meant in terms of, like, people are really going through a test without really realizing it. I'm not necessarily testing you to see you fail.
The test, they keep saying.
I'm not.
Get you.
Well, I told you I don't do it the way he do it, but I'm not
That was
testing
the exact same
you.
way.
No, it's not.
You didn't communicate with him that if you speak to women a certain way.
No. You're talking about your love language in terms of, I'm not going to tell you because I want you to figure it out because I don't want you to lie to me. I'm just saying I'm paying attention to how you handle people.
Oh, she hit you with a psychology.
I'm just paying attention to how you handle people.
Let me piggyback off that example. So
Piggyback
so tell him that if you would have told him, he could have been acting like, oh, I'm gonna talk to my mom nice, even though I really want to talk to her crazy, but since I'm in front of this girl,
false flagging out of this world because he want to make this work so bad.
That's what would have happened.
You already said you saw the area of your way. Stop trying to fix it. You was wrong.
But
what I'm saying is, I'm just paying attention to the character of the person. Like, for example, Adam and I have been friends 20-something years. You know what I'm saying? People can come and say, oh, Adam, he did this and such and such. Bruh, I know him. I know his character. Now, he may go ahead and hit it and quit it. Yeah. He might go ahead and, you know what I'm saying? He might go ahead and do that. But he ain't knocked you upside your head and, you know what I'm saying, put you in no headlock. That ain't even who he is because I know his character. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
So, I'm going to play the middle. So, assessing the character is something that has to be done in the beginning.
Definitely. You should be.
It should definitely be done in the middle. In the beginning. Yeah. And it's something that is necessary. Yeah. So, my only thing I'm going to say, and I ain't coming at Adam sideways and saying it. I'm just going to say it like this. Your assessment in the beginning wasn't the best with this situation. Am I wrong?
I don't think that it was his assessment. I think he wasn't being his full self. For her to get to know, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
For her to be able, like, hold on, Adam was showing all of his good stuff. You know what I'm saying? All of his good ways.
The bad.
No, I showed all my cards.
Bruh.
You showed all the cards?
All the cards.
I ain't never showed a woman all my cards.
I can't help it. That's the type of person I am. Which
my girl tell you, like, I ain't find out some bad cards
going
till
forward,
after the fact.
I'm working on that. Not showing all my cards up front. That's another thing that's
going to be the key
thing. But this is what I'm saying. I don't think the
character
character should be evaluated in the beginning.
Why not?
Hold on. I think the character should be evaluated all the time.
Yeah, sure.
Because we're all growing and we're all evolving and we're all changing. Who I am today is not who I was at 35. If you fell in love with the 35-year-old me and you now with the 37-year-old me and the 40-year-old me may be different, I need to know you still gonna ride with me through these different changes.
Ways.
That's bad.
Well, exactly. If it's not something you like, then you know what I'm saying, go ahead and beat it.
That's happened.
I seen this interview.
I'm gonna say this.
Go ahead.
It was a scientific term that we learned. Me and Ashley learned this. Wavelengths. Wavelengths is a major thing when it comes to even life. You're gonna run through certain waves where it's gonna be lower, it's gonna be higher. You're gonna hit a peak, you're gonna hit a low. But each wavelength never changes due to the fact that it's still gonna have that velocity in the middle that's gonna be the balance.
Right.
So when it comes to those things, like, you have to realize, like, when you're dealing with wavelengths, you're dealing with people like that as well. It's gonna be people in your life with your highs and your lows, in the middle. And people in the middle is gonna be your most genuine people because they're gonna always have your back. At the same time, when it comes to relationships, you have to look at it the same way. Can they handle these highs? Can they handle these lows? Can they be in the middle with you? So it's just like, it's a combination of a lot of different things when it comes to dealing with people and dealing with characteristics and their character, how they handle themselves.
But you should still be communicating through that. Adam and I had one, like I said, we've been best friends for 20 years. We had one tiff.
I remember the whole beef.
We had one tiff.
I remember the beef.
You know what I'm saying? And the only mistake I made in the tiff was not communicating to him. No, not that we didn't talk. It was, I didn't tell him how I felt when it happened.
You did?
I just ghosted. I just ghosted.
I remember that. Yeah, she got missing.
He didn't even know we was beefing until 4 months later when he was like, "You ain't going to court with me? Nigga, I blocked you and everything, bro. Why is you talking to me?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was so oblivious to it. And then when he found out what I was mad about, he was still kind of ghost on me. A year later, he came back. I told him how I felt. He came back with the, "I'm sorry." I'm like, that's all you had to say. But I take responsibility for the time that passed because
I was gonna say that time frame. You let all that time run away.
I did because but keep in mind, this is when I was in my, my masculine phase. I wasn't with a man who was teaching me how important it is for me to use my voice.
Giving me tough conversations like, "Bro, what's up, bro?" Like,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Right. So when we had that conversation, and kudos to my best friend because he has completely respected how I felt in that moment. Any girlfriend that he's had since then, he's very like, "Look, this my best friend. She ain't going nowhere. Sure. She cool as hell. I want you to meet her." And I'm always open to that. I'm always respectful.
Shout out to Devon, crazy self. She knows she's that best friend. I have to.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm always respectful. when he got somebody, especially like,
it's always gonna be respect for the relationship.
Absolutely, because I would not want any of my man's friends disrespecting me. You know what I'm saying? So
and then you also need that friend that's actually gonna see both sides. Like, bro, like, you was wrong.
Exactly.
And then you got that best friend like, but I don't know if you was wrong in this situation. They gonna tell you both sides. Yeah. So you always need that in your life. Yeah. So I'm gonna say this: since we're talking about best friends, do you consider yourself emotional when told about yourself? I'm gonna start with Ashley. Yeah, I got to. Ladies first.
Okay. I used to a lot. And it wasn't because I didn't want to face the truth. It was just because I felt like I was misunderstood. And then I realized that it wasn't so much about me being misunderstood. It was about me just not wanting to handle the truth. And so I had to start to learn to hold myself accountable. I've been in therapy for 2 years now. And
damn. Oh, my bad.
Man, let me tell you, it is not for the weak, okay? You don't go to therapy because it's cute. You go to therapy to do the work, and it's going to take however long it takes.
That part.
And so
for sure.
There are still a lot of things that I am unpacking and dealing with. But
we promote therapy around here at Men vs. Truth vs. Women podcast, for sure.
So when I'm told about myself, I start to ask the questions, who is this person to me? If you call me and you tell me about myself, you've been my friend for almost 20 years. You ain't calling to tell me something about myself with hate in your heart. You calling to tell me with love. Same with you. So I'm going to listen because I know you want the best for me. You know, Adam, especially with like in business, Adam called me, "Why you do that? That was stupid." Or, "Why you ain't doing this? Didn't I tell you to do this?" You know what I'm saying? Like that. "Didn't I tell you to do this?" And I'm like, "You're right." But I don't be, in my feelings like, bro, like I got it. It just be
you're
like.
You're not thinking it to the full capacity like you should be.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm holding myself accountable, and I'm appreciative of the people around me who I trust, who I know love me, that are also holding me accountable. Case in point, my girl Michaela. I called her one time about something that I was going off, and I was like, "This motherfucker did blah, 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 blah." You feel me? No. You was wrong.
Ain't right.
You was wrong,
Shout out to Michaela. I love
Michaela.
Saying? I've been knowing Michaela since we was 7 years old.
You know?
So Michaela gonna keep it real. She ain't gonna play about it. She gonna tell
real.
She gonna tell you about yourself.
You know what I'm saying? But that's in terms of where I had to be like, the people who are telling me about myself. Now, if you somebody I don't know, baby, you don't even know me. Go ahead with all that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's like I said, you, Michaela, Adam, my man, who, you know what I'm saying? People that I know love me and genuinely care for me. Y'all ain't coming to me with hate. Y'all coming to me with love. So I should be able to hold myself accountable to that.
I think I did that to you. What was it, like 3 years ago? And I said, Ashley, you got to calm down.
You did.
You don't have to be elevated just to express yourself.
I keep trying to tell you that was before I learned how to effectively communicate.
So
you'll be surprised how effective communication can alter your whole attitude
for sure,
and keep you in line.
Yes,
for sure.
Yes,
I think I did that about, it was 2 years ago. I was dealing with the cigar stuff, and this guy was trying to get over him, going off. I'm like, nah, bro. Like, bro. It ain't even about to go down, bro. Like, he ain't about to do this. And then my humble servant, Tone, he said, bro, you shouldn't have did the business anyway, because everything ain't good all the time. And I said, dang, bro, why you gotta be real with me right now? I just want to tell myself I was right about the situation. So, I mean, you definitely have to be realistic with yourself, and a lot of people don't be realistic with themselves. So, I mean, it's just it's a humbling experience when you have good people in your corner.
That's
like,
right.
Like Adam, I remember when Adam was leaving the jewelry, he said, I'm about to be done with this. And I'm like, bro, you got a good gift for this. He was like, but this ain't what it is. And the only thing I can tell you, I remember when we had that conversation, I came down there. I just got a grill. I don't know why I had a grill, but I just came. It was more of support of the Adam. I came to get a grill. I done brought a few people down there. I was like, sorry, I got a grill. He was like, nah, bro, I'm about to be done. I'm like, for real? He was like, he said, yeah, this ain't it. I looked him in the face. I was like, you really ready to get over here? Because he was making good money. We was fresh out of high school. And Adam was like, this ain't long term, bro. All I could do was look in your face. I said, hey, I respect it. If you know what it is, you know what it is. So it be those moments like you have to trust that person's word. You have to trust that they're leading you to the right direction.
That part.
And you have to trust the fact that they are trying to help you as well. So those are the major things when it comes to that.
If somebody is telling you about yourself that's in your circle, they care. They care.
I ain't gonna say that.
I am because I don't want nobody in my circle that don't care.
Hold on. Sometimes
you
go find a grass. You go find a snake in the grass. Sometimes.
Oh well, yeah. You got to weed them out.
Granted, my circle's
my
circle's a dot. So I mean, I think I done weeded all that. I done cut all the grass.
I'm just circle.
I don't cut out Unica.
Oh yeah,
I was gonna say Unica. Hey, shout out to Unica. I'm glad she did everything
so she's still like getting acclimated. You know what I'm saying?
I love Unica. I love what you're doing. I hope you tune in this. I'm glad you found the guidance through God and your path and everything you're doing.
She's super dope. I love her.
I'm gonna conclude this episode today. I appreciate you two being here with me. We've been trying to do this for almost a month, but I held on to this.
I'm proud of
you for a reason. I held on because I knew I'm gonna get the content out of this one, and I'm gonna get the content out of this one, especially if they here together. It's gonna be amazing. Shout out to Pleasure Is Mine Cigar Lounge for being one of our sponsors for my podcast, and I appreciate everybody tuning in. Like I said before, tune in to my YouTube, my Instagram. Everything. I'm on all platforms. Just check me out. And I appreciate everybody tuning in this week with Men vs. Truth vs. Women podcast. Appreciate y'all.
Gang, gang.